So, I don't know if you noticed, but the MCU and Marvel, Star Wars, Terminator, a lot of movies kind of suck today. For many reasons that I won't get into because that's not why I'm here. Basically, I just want to, instead of criticizing and saying this sucks, I just want to show you comics because they make me really happy right now, and I noticed that there's a lot of untapped potential in that area. And I do really enjoy American comics like DC, Marvel, stuff like this, but also the French comics like fantasy and sci-fi and even graphic novels. There's a lot of them that I can't find in stores, so I just want to help you find those, because I went to France, traveled in many cities there, and asked people, for their recommendations, stuff like this. And at first I found it was benign because I was just looking to buy comics for myself, but I thought, hey, maybe people would like to know about those, people in America who can't go to France, and yeah, that's what I'm doing. So, alright, let's start with the first one of a big series. This is my first video. It's the first time I get on camera, show myself to YouTube, so forgive me if I'm a bit nervous. I'll get better at this with time. So, what got me into my crippling addiction? This is the books. I was just looking to buy some fantasy because I want to write a movie about fantasy, and I was looking for material and inspiration, and basically this is what hooked me. Like, it got my eye first because of the book. I mean, dude, it's amazing. And girls, everybody would like this. Actually, it's just breathtaking. The book itself is, you can see it's golden on the sides. It's actually part of the story if you really look closely. The cover itself is a different texture. It has like 3 textures. This is why I love having a book in my hand and going to libraries to get them. So you won't need to, because I'm telling you, this is a really, really cool buy. Also behind, you can see the dragon and the stairs and the cave and everything. It's amazing. So, Siegfried, made by Alex Alice, which is a French author. Also actually met him. I met him, totally surprised. I wasn't expecting to, but I heard he was there, and I really loved this comic so much. I thought, hey, I have to meet him. Super nice. He was talking with me, explaining me how it works and everything. So the author's awesome, the story's awesome, and the book is awesome, and the visual and everything. It yells of respect for story, for the audience, and work, And so here we go. I wanted to talk about the plot a little bit. Basically, it's based on a legend from Norse culture with Odin and Thor and stuff like this. There's no Thor in this, so don't expect a hammer and Marvel stuff. It's Odin, there's the Valkyrie, and there's I don't remember his name. I read it quite a while ago, okay? I don't remember his name. Let's call him George. Here's George, who wants to know who his parents are. Basically, they disappeared, and he's raised by a kind of troll, I think. It's not very clear. He's called Mime, that I remember. Very funny character, by the way, because he's just something else. You'll see. He reminds me of Gollum a little bit. And I think actually Tolkien got inspired by this, because there's a ring story too in this, and a gold story. So he wants to find out who his parents are, and he realizes it's part of a prophecy where it says that he has to fight this dragon, and it seems very basic, which in a way it is, but also like in the way it's told, it feels mythical, it feels bigger than the comic, you know? He has to accomplish this huge thing and go through a place he hasn't seen before and slay a huge dragon that you get the dragon teased basically from the start. This is how it starts, by the way. Seriously, how awesome is that? How awesome is that? Hurt myself a little bit. This is like, I wanted to buy it. I saw the first page and I didn't even, need to see the rest. Even this, like, there's nothing, but it starts dark, just like a movie. It feels like a movie, It starts dark and then it's grandiose and it's beautiful and it's everything you'd want. Like this, for example. Look at this. I mean, come on. This is awesome. This basically is kind of like the start of Lord of the Rings, the start of any fantasy. Oh, sorry, I think I forgot to say it's fantasy. Mythical, fantasy, mythology, mix of things. But yeah, the character, I think the only problem is the character. He's a bit simple, I'd say. Like, I don't see any flaws in him except that he can give up and turn into the greed for the gold. Seems like that would be it. But the rest of the story, like Mime, very funny character. Odin, you kind of learn a bit more about Odin, the way he works, and he's very, very, very intimidating because it's freaking Odin, It's not just anyone. Oh, I was flipping through and I saw this. Come on. This is a style I think everyone would love, It feels like a movie, but also it's the drawings. I don't know, I have no words. I saw this and I just fell in love. And yeah, because of this comic, I wanted to buy just a comic for storytelling purposes, make a story. But I think this got me into a rabbit hole where I spent money for this comic and then another fantasy comic and another, and then comic books for Marvel, because I discovered Marvel is actually more than the movies, and then DC comics, and then graphic novels, and then sci-fi and everything. Like you can see behind me, this is just like a very small amount of what I read. And also the thing is, I used to read comics and as a kid, like Asterix, Tintin, Smurfs, stuff like this. And I thought it was for kids, basically. And I realized there's so much more than this to comics. And this is what people who don't read those, they need to know that the comics, they're not just for kids. They can be everything. Like this for example, it's dark, it's funny, it's sad, it's upbeat, it gives you hope, it makes you wonder, there's even almost improv at some parts, like this part. I remember it gets lost into the forest and it repeats the images in the other way, and then from top to bottom, and you feel lost with the character, and it's just something else, So I don't know, unless you haven't figured out already, I freaking love this book. And it's also holding the book, holding it, because I don't know if you know about this, Stanley. He said comic book and books in general is like boobs. You like to see them on the screen, but holding them, this is the best thing. So I got it. When I got this book in my hand, I knew it. And also they do oil paintings. Come on, seriously. This just makes me happy, Also, I'm good at drawing, but I'm not at this level, and I saw what the author was capable of at the start, and this gives me hope that I can maybe get there someday, Because I also do comics, I also do this kind of stuff, and this is just it's something else. And also the dragon and the size of things, like it really you feel the size of the landscape and the people and the dragon. The dragon is huge. By the way, this is, if you want to see, this is the first one. Looks like this. So it's very blue. This is the second one. Different. Colors are different. Everything's different. Even the drawing on the side is different. And this is the third one. My favorite. I love the gold. Gold is my favorite color. I love the red. I love the behind. I love everything about this one. And also it's the final chapter, you know, where he faces the dragon. And like, look at the intro. Every intro is just something else. It is just something else. Also, I'm not gonna spoil you this part, actually. I also like how small it can be, you know, in its presentation, like this part. This is a moment in the story where he feels like he has to give up because the dragon is indestructible, and the dark is slowly going up and up and up, and then it becomes water, and he has to feel hope again, you know. So it's this kind of story. If you're more into character comic books, I got you, don't worry. Not the one for you, probably. More of a fantasy story. But if you're into character action, I got other comics to recommend you, so stay tuned for other stuff, right? And also, look at this. This is his eye. Imagine the size of the thing if this is his eye. I mean, come on. You know, classic good versus evil, knight versus dragon. And yeah, even this part, look at this, come on. It makes you feel wonder, you know. It's wonderful. That's what it is. It's wonderful. Look, I'm not gonna show you anymore. I'm just gonna let you enjoy it, and please buy it for the author. I don't get any money. I'm not. It's not a sponsor. I just really love this comic so much. That's my favorite. I'm gonna show you other ones that I really like, but this one is like my top favorite. So anyway, I think that's it for today. That's my first video, so we'll see how it goes. I'm not doing this for views or anything. I'm just doing this because I really love comics and I want to share my passion with you guys and girls and other people. And I just want people to read more comics. You know, there are books, there are movies, and comics is that sweet spot in between. And I love them so much. So please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, give a thumbs up or something, and see you in the next one. All right? Bye bye.